Hey everyone, this is for the water signs for February. Um, so for this reading, I got a lot of cards that kind of melted down to the number 6 and the number 4, and the general consensus for those numbers. Um, the basic understanding of those numbers are really in numerology are really in four. Four likes things in order. They don't like chaos. They have to go on things and put everything where it needs to go. And 6 is about responsibilities. So I feel this month, as these cards are coming up and I'm reading them, I feel that this month of February is about getting things in check, getting things in order. That might have to do with taxes starting to roll in and all that too. So pay attention to everything that comes your way. Don't put it aside and be like, I'm gonna do that, in a couple days or a week. I feel like the month of February is the month that's, if you don't pay attention, it's the one that's gonna start the snowball effect. With a snowball rolling downhill, all it takes is a little grain of snow to roll into a ball, and then eventually it gets into this, big snowball. So pay attention this month, you water signs, and make sure that you're not falling prey to distraction. You're not falling prey to being overwhelmed and kind of just putting things off to the side and giving up for a moment. You're going to have to really stay on it this month. I feel there for water, there's a lot of friction. There's a lot of things going on for you. There's going to be a lot of people that, in a sense, that are going to be very dependent on you, and they're going to need you to be on your A game. And as soon as you're not on your A game, that's when something's going to hit you. So just pay attention to that, water signs, for the month of February. I'll go ahead and read the cards that I got. I did this reading instead of in weeks. I did it in 3 phases: beginning, middle, and end. Since I did kind of forget to post this video, and I'm posting it almost a week late into February. So for the first phase, beginning, I got the Ten of Sisters for my Kuan Yin cards, and I got Conchomancy for my Mermaid cards. And kind of what these cards are saying, for the Conchomancy, um, I feel that it's telling you to physically kind of find a spot for you that's going to help you get you back into your brain, get you back into your mode. Everyone has their own little spot that they go to kind of recuperate their energy. And I feel that the water signs have kind of been taken out of their element last month and the months before. I feel that you've kind of tested yourself, or you have been tested, and now it's the time to kind of pull back a little and be your who you are, be yourself, find your energy, and get back to that energy, because that's what you need to fuel yourself throughout this next year. Also, they're with controversy, obviously, with shells and stuff like that. It might be a good thing to kind of get sea related things around you or water related things around you, so you kind of remind yourself, you know, about you are water, and you need to really respect that, because the water, um, I think, is really the one of the most important signs, important elements, really, because you have earth that builds things, you have fire um, that kind of deconstructs things, and then you have air that has a voice to make things happen, and then you have water. Water is, to me, has always been connected with the idea of things, the spirituality of things, the fluidness of things. It's kind of where things start from creation. It's that point that where the idea is made, and then air picks up onto that idea, tells it to Earth, and then Earth builds it and then when it's ready to decay, fire finds it. I mean, that's always been my train of thinking about elements. You know, everyone has their own way of kind of finding their cycle on how the elements interact with each other, but that's kind of my concept of the elements. And I feel that, you know, the first phase, you know, it's time to get back to your idea mode. You know, find your drawing board in a sense. Go back to that spot that where you can find you know, wherever all these distractions are locked out for the moment. Um, and just kind of find, you know, the things that you need to do, and plan ahead, you know, do all those things that, you know, that are not really in the mindset of water, because I know me as a water, um, I do plan, but very loosely. I don't set anything in stone, and I feel, um, for this month for water signs, I feel like this month is very important about setting plans in stone and not deviating from those plans. Um, I know I said that go back to your element and be water, but I feel that this is a moment, you know, in February, you know, that we should really, really focus on being set in stone on what we do, because that's, you know, that's the beginning of where distractions are going to happen, and you kind of want to nip those in the bud before they come into fruition. Um, and the other card, which is the what was it, the Ten Sisters of Light, and that's a card that it's another familiar card. It's go back to a familiar place, um, something that's kind of been nudging at you to go to. That maybe it was a place that you used to go and you haven't in a long time for some reason. Maybe that's where you need to go to find yourself. And the Ten Sisters of Light card is all about, you know, a family bond in a sense. So that might be another place. So if you haven't visited your family in a while, that might be another way of saying that it's time to go visit your family, and remember where you came from in a sense. Remember, you know, respect your relationships with the other world. I know last month a lot of the cards for most of the signs. I remember water and I remember air, especially, were saying. Um, it was about communication. You know, the month of January, you're going to have a lot of communication um, obstructions. You know, so you need to focus on your communication. So I feel that this is kind of coming in from last month, and it's bleeding a little bit over into February. So I feel that, you know, there's a lot of bonds that you need to respect in this first phase. And my second phase, we've got the Sanctuary card, and we've got the Hear the Yellow Tiger Mother. Now, the Hear the Yellow Tiger Mother, that's a card that tells us there's going to be a lot of change in phase two in the middle of February. And, you know, there's going to be some ongoing things changing around us. And that card is telling us to remember who you are and not to change that. Just because everyone else around you is changing, that doesn't mean that you have to change too. You know, if you find something in yourself that's not working, you can change that to get you to make that work for you. But don't change something just because everyone else is doing it. That's what that card is saying, and it's saying it. You know, people might call you stubborn, but having courage isn't being stubborn. Having courage to be yourself doesn't mean that you're stubborn. It just means you know who you are, you know what works for you, and you keep that. And I feel that that card is really important for this month. With all the change going on, you have to realize that, you know, the more you are yourself, the better things that are going to happen to you, because you're going to be more relaxed. You're not going to be so stressed out, And every time, when you get stressed out, especially water signs, the more we get stressed out, the more distracted we get, the more we tend to curl up in a ball and just say, fuck it, forget it, I'm done. You know, this card is telling you don't do that. Just remember who you are, be yourself, and you'll be able to be relaxed and be able to adjust to the things around you. Um, and the other card is Sanctuary, and this card, it comes in and it's saying to kind of respect the boundaries, respect your boundaries, and respect the other people's boundaries around you, because you don't want to encroach on them. Just because you believe something doesn't mean they themselves have to believe it. You can still be friends with someone and completely have different beliefs about everything. It's a matter of having respect for each other, and I think that is the difference between spirituality and religion. Spirituality, a lot of spiritual people, they don't care where you get it from. They just want you to have some kind of spirituality. Where religion, I feel religion promotes, hate for other religions. Um, I know there are certain religions that respect other religions, but let's say the majority of religions out there say if they don't have this religion, they're not going to heaven, or whatever place, dictates where you go, and that's something that I think we all as human beings have to understand, that spirituality comes from different places, and we all practice our own spirituality in different ways. Um, and so I'm going to go on to the third week before I really get on a rant about that. So the last part of February, um, I feel the 6 came up again. The 6 actually came up for the first phase and the last phase. So in the last phase, your responsibilities are coming back in full circle to you. It's reminding you that you have responsibilities. And this one, I feel it's more to your craft. It's more to yourself and what you have available to you. Um, I'm going to go ahead and probably misquote Bashar, but if you follow Bashar, you know the quote. But I think the quote goes, the definition of success in his mind was, it's not about having all the money in the world. It's about having the things that you need to do the things you want to do. So in other words, you can have all the money in a bank, but if you don't have the necessary components around you to make your happiness, then that money means nothing. And I feel like for this last phase, that's kind of it's coming off those cards, and it wants me to say that, so that's why I'm putting it out there. Um, so the cards are Reveal the Peacock Beauty and Telepathy, which I love this card. Telepathy, this card is coming through in this situation as a muse. It's telling you to, maybe it has to do with respecting others people's boundaries as well, but I feel that this card is telling you to pay attention to what's going on around you, and also it's paying attention to those things around you, because there's something inside you that's saying, you know, I need this for this, I need that for this project. There are things that are going on outside, that are kind of speaking to you, saying that, hey, you need me to make this project happen. Um, and why I say that, because the Reveal the Peacock Beauty card is about having, you know, all your colors, all your certain things that you need to build something around, available. You need to understand and realize what you have um, in front of you, so you know what you can make with it. And there's a certain voice that's gonna nag at you in this last phase of February, and it's gonna tell you that you can do this. Don't block me out. You can do this. And I feel with the telepathy card, it's going to come off someone else or something else. So you might, walk around maybe in a craft store, or you might be driving down the road and see a sign for something, and it's just screaming at you, "Hey, you need to do this. You can do this." And you might go, "I can't do that." What this card is kind of telling you is it's telling you to listen to that inner voice, that that object, that certain thing that it has an energy that's just calling out to you, and it's saying, "Come to me." And that's what you need to do. You need to do it. Um, so you can't have success without having all the things that you need to do. Um, if you want to be a painter, you can't have no paint. You've got to have paint to paint. So that's kind of how I want to put it. So really, this is my read into the water signs. Hopefully, I didn't go completely off topic, and I wasn't spouting out gibberish, because I know sometimes I get a little bit excited and I just start saying words, and there they are. So you guys have a wonderful February, water signs, and I hope some of you post some of your projects that you're working on or planning to do, and I hope everything turns out for the better for you guys. I'll see you in March.